Act 2, tragedy minus comedy equals time, specifically a long, long time between laughs. Mike Birbiglia is the kind of working comedian who tours and he does specials on Comedy Central, but he is not exactly a household name. Recently, he told an audience about a bad experience he had as a performer, one where he personally did not rise to the occasion. In fact, he says it was the worst show he's ever done in his life.
It happened this year. I was asked to perform at a charity golf tournament in New Jersey. So I woke up for this charity golf event, and I realized recently that I'm not like a good adult yet. Like, I think if you're a good adult, you like plan your outfit according to what will occur when you leave the house. But I don't have that part of my brain. I'm just like, one outfit forever, you know? So I went and I played golf, and I brought my brother Joe, and Joe's kind of like a bad Entourage member. He's never like, you the man, Mike. He's always like, I don't know what Dad would think about this, and do you think they have any more shrimp? You know, that kind of thing. But we showed up to play golf, and they paired us up with these two other people, and it was a celebrity tournament. The people were like, who do you think our celebrity's gonna be? And I was like, and Joe and I were like, yeah, who do you think our celebrity's gonna be? And then I'm like, oh no, I think it might be me. And then like I'm apologizing to these people. I'm like, I'm really sorry, I'm your celebrity. If you think this is disappointing for you, you can't imagine how I feel. So I'm like apologizing the whole day, and then at the end of the day, like sure enough, my pants are all wrinkled, and I have to be at this semi-formal banquet, and I'm like, what about one outfit forever? I thought that was a good plan, you know? And so here's what I do. As damage control, I go to the locker room to iron my own pants. And yeah, it's a pretty good plan. And I find an iron, but I couldn't find a board. So I take off my pants, I'm just ironing them on a bench in the locker room in my underwear, which is a dead giveaway that these are my only pants. And so I'm ironing my pants, and I put them on, and I go up to the event. And this is where the trouble really begins. It's important for me, before I tell you this part of the story, to remind you that you're on my side. I said to the woman in charge, I go, what's the format of the show? And she goes, well, there's 2 speakers, and then you, and then a raffle. And I was like, well, that's exciting, because I've never opened for a raffle. And I'm trying to stay optimistic, you know, and I'm sitting in the back of the room with my brother Joe, and the first speaker comes on the stage, and he's an 11-year-old boy who survived leukemia. I know. He's not funny at all. He focuses primarily on the leukemia, and everyone is crying. Literally, everyone is crying. I'm even crying in the back of the room for 2 reasons. 1, the kid, and 2, for me. Because I have to perform comedy, and it gets worse. Because Joe leans over and he goes, this ain't looking so good, Mike. I said, I concur. The second speaker was Hall of Fame quarterback Phil Simms. And yeah, he's got one fan here. But he's a broadcaster, and he gives an amazing, inspiring speech, and he even sprinkles in a few jokes about golf. They were similar to jokes I had thought of about golf that day. It was like watching the last drops of my joke canteen drip out onto a desert of cancer, and he gets a standing ovation, which he should have. Clearly the show is over. Surely there can't be anyone more famous than Hall of Fame quarterback Phil Simms. But wait. There was. It was Mike Birbiglia, who had no business being at this event. I know there are some entertainers who might have risen to the challenge, and I would love to be one of those entertainers, but I am not. As a matter of fact, I have a habit in my life of making awkward situations even more awkward. Like, I've said this before, but like a few years ago, I was moving a new bed into my apartment, and this woman who lived in the building opened the front door for me with her key, and she goes, "I'm not worried because a rapist wouldn't have a bed like that." That's how she started the conversation. Now, what I should have said was nothing. What I did say was, "You'd be surprised," and there's nothing you can say after that. You're just like, "See you around the building," you know, that kind of thing. I've thought about this a lot, and I think there's something wrong with my brain where I don't have an on-deck circle for ideas. It's just batter up, you know? And a lot of the ideas are bad, and they're at the plate going, "I don't know about this one, Mike." And I just turn into this drunk Little League dad. I'm like, "You go take some cuts, son." As a comedian, when people laugh, it's very exciting. You know, it's a very neat thing. And when they don't, it feels like you're performing jazz. Because they're kind of bobbing their head and looking to the side. And sometimes that's okay. I'm like, I like jazz, you know? But then I get worried because I'm like, sometimes jazz sucks. What if I'm the Kenny G of comedy? You know, like, what if I think I sound like this, like, and in fact, I sound like this. Na 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 na. So I'm on stage at the charity golf tournament, and I'm just Kenny G-ing it up, you know? I'm just for 10 minutes, just no, 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 just blowing that horn, you know, and I don't want to fail. I mean, that's a really important point in this story, is that these are good people, and I want to succeed for them, but I just can't, you know? And so I think to myself, why don't I cater my material to this specific event? And everyone has been talking about cancer. I know. I'm in the future also. I had that thought on stage for about 1 second, and then batter up! I said to the audience, a true story, I said I went to the doctor and they told me there was something in my bladder, and whenever they tell you that, it's never anything good, you know, like we found something in your bladder and it's season tickets to the Yankees! That was the response I was hoping for. At that point, I just threw in the towel. I mean, I was just devastated. I thanked the audience and apologized simultaneously, which I've never done. I was like, "Thank you, sorry for ruining your event," and I just kind of walked off. And I was so upset, and I walked over to Joe, and I go, "Joe, we are leaving now." And that's when Joe said, and I quote, "Mike, I can't. They're just about to start the raffle." And because everybody left, my odds are amazing. And that is the worst show I have ever done in my entire life. Yeah.
Mike Birbiglia, that story's been recorded on one of his CDs, My Secret Public Journal, which was put out by Comedy Central and can be downloaded online at the iTunes Store.